Yeah. I think what makes this win so special is, I mean, yes, the first CAA win, but the adversity that our team faced the last couple of games, and their ability to really come together and work hard and give it everything they had. And I feel like we had the momentum for the entire game. So just super proud of how they dealt with that adversity and how they found a way to rise.
First possession of the game, they get the ball, you attack,
Mm-hmm.
actually force a turnover. Was that something that was planned? You were on the first
Yeah.
possession, we're going to do that?
Yeah, it was,
Did you
yeah.
feel it kind of set a tone in a way?
It definitely did. It set the tone because we did it. We went all out and we got the turnover. And I think that just helped get the team going. We then had the clock issue, and I'm looking at the referees and I'm like, we had a little bit of momentum and then we stopped it with the clock. But it did. It carried them throughout the first quarter for sure. And I'm just glad that they believed in it and attacked it head on.
I guess you never expect to have a shooting night like this. It's the second most in program history, I believe. Second most threes. But had you seen the shooting come around a little bit lately in practice or anything?
Yeah, actually, we have shooting practices. So now that they're in break, we have blocks of time where they're just getting shots up. So I'm also glad that they see that translate, right? Coming in, I know they don't want to have to practice, come back a little bit later and just get shots up, but they did it, and it definitely paid off.
Riley, I guess lately you hadn't been shooting quite the way you would want, but today obviously was kind of vintage for you. What was the difference? Did you feel that they were just falling?
Yeah, I mean, I think like what Coach E said, we've been getting in the gym a lot this last week, getting a lot of shots up, working on shots on the move, shots like in game time situations. And I think my teammates were looking for me once I hit a few, so that was nice to get a couple more going.
And it was spread out. A lot of other players were hitting as well. Rebecca had a couple early. Is this, obviously you guys aren't going to make 14 threes every game, but is this the kind of offense you feel you can have if you're clicking?
Yeah, I think so. And when everyone's hitting, it's easier for people to drive in the lane. It's easier for the post to get open, things like that.
As a coach, when that's going on, you're knowing they're. I mean, at one point they were 8 of 10, I think, and you know that's not going to continue.
Yeah.
Do you tell them that? Say, hey, eventually this is going to calm down or something, or do you just let them flow?
Just let them flow. I don't want them to overthink what they should or should not be doing at that moment. So I don't want to say in a timeout, let's start looking to drive because we're getting tired legs. I just let them miss a couple, and then I'll say, hey, we're good. We just have tired legs. Let's try to get to the basket. I think if we overcomplicate it for our girls, then they get very black and white instead of just taking what the game gives to them.
How important is, you had the road trip from hell or whatever.
You can say that again.
But then you're playing at home. Everybody knows you got a whole serve and that stuff. How important is getting this win today?
I mean, being back home, it just, the crowd, it was loud in there, we have the cheerleaders, we have everybody in the stands just rooting for us, and I think that's a place that we really needed. The last 3 games we lost were all on the road. Going into somebody's home is always a lot more difficult, especially as you're a team that's trying to grow and learn things and figure things out. So being at home in our comfort zone with people that are really, I feel like our crowd was really loud today, and I just think that it helps the overall flow of the game. So I'm just so glad to be back. We're going right back on the road, on Friday, but then we'll be back here on Sunday. So.
Your thoughts any different?
Yeah, no different. I think
If I remember this correctly, they smoked you guys pretty good here last year.
Yeah.
Did you remember that game coming in?
Yeah, I think that game was a tight game until like halfway through the third quarter maybe, and then everything went wrong for us in the fourth quarter. But that's something that we talk a lot about this year, like finishing the game, stringing quarters together, and having a good start in the second half. And I think we did do that. We brought good energy into the start of the second half.
Can I ask one?
Yeah.
When you're in the zone like tonight, can you describe what it's like with you and your other teammates on the court as it's happening? Because to the audience, it's just exciting, but you guys probably go through a different mindset or something.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just keep.
That's a good question.
It's a good question. I think once I hit a few, people start looking for me and try to get me open more. Like Sid had a nice drive and dish to me on the wing right in front of the bench. So things like that start happening. And then when like Beck started hitting a couple threes early in the game, that helps me get more open and things like that. So once I think Alexa hit 2 threes early in the game too. So once people start hitting, I think it opens everything up for everyone else. So then it's a little easier to get some shots off.